So, good evening to all, and Namaskar. President of Kelpro, Mr. A. Hamsa, General Secretary, Dr. Sudhi S. Vijayan, other office bearers of Kelpro, several senior professors and senior librarians, eminent personalities who are here present online. Uh, Due to time limitation, I am not naming anybody. Welcome to the webinar on the title From Digital Libraries to Digital Humanities. On behalf of Kelpro, that is Kerala Library Professionals Organization, myself Humayun Kabir offers a warm welcome to all who are present online today. Few words about Kelpro, our organization. Kelpro, its expansion to Kerala Library Professionals Organization. It was registered as a society, came into existence in the year 1993. It was established with a prime focus to advance knowledge in theory and practice of LIS. Kelpro stands to promote overall welfare and professional status of library professionals. Even though the name of the association starts with the word Kerala, it has members not only in Kerala state but outside the state also. It is active since 1993 for the service of the society, but it is mainly emphasizing on publication and other academic activities. We have our prime publication, our journal, Kelpro Bulletin, a biannual peer-reviewed professional journal in library and information science, which has been accepted widely by the academic community, not only in India, but even outside India also. Our journal has completed 25 years of publishing, starting from the year 1997 and proceeding to volume 26 now. You can view the full text of the journal from our websites www.kelprobulletin.in. In fact, we have two websites. One is the organization website, that is www.kelpro.in. That is the association website. We have a YouTube channel also. In the YouTube channel, you can view all the webinars conducted so far. We also have a blog as well as Facebook. Our journal is a UGC approved peer reviewed journal and now preparing to enter in the UGC care list. Coming to our present program on From Digital Libraries to Digital Humanities, we received good response from many corners of the country and outside India. We have conducted several webinars during the pandemic days on a wide variety of interesting topics when all the educational institutions were closed. And in this lockdown period, and in fact during this period, the organization was more active online. To make it clear that we are conducting webinars not for just giving certificates, but to disseminate latest knowledge. Kelpro is continuing the tradition of conducting webinars even now. So far, we have conducted 20 webinars, and this is the 21st in the series. Details of all our webinars are available in our website www.kelpro.in. You can view the complete proceedings of the webinar in Kelpro YouTube channel at any time. We are conducting webinars as a series. Webinars for the coming months of March, April, etc. are fixed now. So many of you might have participated in these past webinars in a wide variety of topics, and we gratefully acknowledge your presence as well as active participation in those webinars. So today's lecture is on the topic From Digital Libraries to Digital Humanities, and is very useful to research scholars, faculty in any subject. I'm indeed glad to introduce today's speaker, Dr. M. Krishnamurthy. He is the head of the prestigious, what we call DRTC, Documentation, Research and Training Center, part of the Indian Statistical Institute, Bangalore. He did his master's and PhD in Library and Information Science from Bangalore University. He worked in various institutions before becoming a faculty. He worked in British Library, Bangalore, worked as assistant librarian of the Indian Statistical Institute, Regional Center, Bangalore, University Librarian of Mysore University, Professor of Library and Information Science at Mangalore University for a certain period. At present, he is heading the Documentation, Research and Training Center, Bangalore. He is a Fulbright scholar at the University of Illinois, USA. He visited several countries for academic purpose only. There are countries such as UK, USA, Australia, Spain, France, Germany, Sweden, Japan, Korea, Scotland, France, Belgium, Thailand, etc. He is a visiting faculty to several institutions inside and outside India, completed several useful projects, published 30 articles in international journals and several articles in national journals. He presented scholarly papers at seminars, conferences, workshops, etc., both inside the country and as well as outside the country. Sir has reviewed books and journal articles, written and edited seminar volumes and books. Professionally also, Dr. Krishnamurthy is very active. He is a life member of National Library Associations such as Indian Library Association, IASLIC, Secretary of SIS, that is Society for Information Science, as well as other associations such as KALA, Karnataka State Library Association, etc. He is Secretary Finance the Association of British Scholars from 2008 onwards. So Kerala Library Professionals Organization heartily welcome Dr. Krishnamurthy sir to present the scholarly lecture on the topic from digital libraries to digital humanities in the Kelpro webinar series. I humbly request all of you to mute your audio as well as video till completion of the lecture to avoid unnecessary voices and disturbances. Ensure that you are well dressed before you switch on the video. You can use the chat box, no feedback form. However, you can send your feedback, comments, suggestions, and other queries in the official email, kelpro1993@gmail.com. For any queries, you can call in the phone numbers provided in the brochures also. There is a question and answer session after the brochure. Now, I wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Krishnamurthy sir for his informative talk. Namaskar, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your nice introduction about me. I was really happy to hear from you such a wonderful presentation from your side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, friends, ladies and gentlemen. I'm audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're
Yes.
audible. Yes.
My dear professional friends, the outset, I thank Professor Humayun Kabir, who invited me to deliver a lecture on digital libraries to digital humanities. I thank President of this Kelpro, General Secretary, and office bearers to invite me to deliver a lecture. Friends, as I mentioned, my topic from digital libraries to digital humanities. The emergence of digital technologies has been changing the educational landscape in the higher education area in the last decade. Transformation has occurred at multiple levels of digitally enabled products and process, from the creation and prevention of information to the level of information transmission and exchange, thus fostering new learning ecologies in the digital humanities. The digital humanities, also known as humanities, computing, is a field of study, research, teaching, and invention concerned with the intersection of computing and the disciplines of the humanities. It's a methodological by nature and interdisciplinary in scope. It involves investigation, analysis, synthesis, and presentation of information in electronic form. It studies how these media affect the discipline in which they are used and what these disciplines have to contribute to our knowledge of computing. Digital humanities is a diverse and still emerging field that encompasses the practice of humanity research through information technology and the exploration of how the humanities may evolve through their engagement with technology, media, and computational methods. Look at the friends, how these days we're all familiar using the net environment in the web search technologies. In the 1980 to 90, we were all familiar with the PC era on the desktop. When the invention of WW in 1990 to 2000, we were all talking about the search techniques, search Yahoo and Web 1.0. Then 2002, 2010, we were all talking about the social web. It created Web 2.0 in the Google and Google Scholar and Google Ethics. And in 2010 to 2020, we were talking about the semantic web, ontology, machine intelligence unit, and many more technologies emerge in 2020 and 2030. It's going to be as a intelligent web, and we call Web 4.0. The changes that taken place from 1992 2022 now, another 8 years or 2030, we are going in drastic change amount of data which is available in the burden of information amount, information huge. So therefore, this digital humanities is making many voice, and from humanism to the humanities, while the foundation of humanistic inquiry and the liberal arts can be traced back in the West to the medieval trivium and quadrium. The modern human science are rooted in the Renaissance shift from a medieval, church dominated, theocratic world to a human centered one. The philosophical system of Renaissance thought mirrored in the graphical structure of monocular perspective, had human subject at their own. Look at this figure, how this digital humanities is taking place in all the corners in the information communication technologies. The information technologies, one could argue that whole research nowadays is digital. Considering the indispensability of digital means such as communication, information, extraction platform, and software for the latest discoveries in science and technology. But we should also include disciplinary distribution of digital skill, expertise into the equation. Disciplines such as ICT, information management, engineering, and economics are at the core of the digital intensive discipline range. And disciplines such as biology, chemistry, and health involve both classic example digital lab and digital processing activities, whereas disciplines such as the humanities still primarily rely on traditional research methods. For this reason, delimitation within the digital skill continuum or mean to clarity of the degree, sophistication with digital users, where researchers, students, and the wide public operate. That's how this digital humanities is taking place in the academic era and especially in the higher education. Confronting the massive transformation of knowledge, the society, and the culture that is underway in the digital age. This takes stock of this new world as well as anticipates future development in the digital humanities. The digital humanities, building on earlier generations of computational approaches to humanities, research with emphasis on the creation, preservation, and interpretation of the cultural record. The digital humanities has greatly expanded the potential power and reach of the humanities disciplines, both within the academy and just as importantly, outside its walls. You look into the history of digital humanities. is not a new one. Digital humanities was started a long back. While an example, in 1949, Father Roberto Bush began his index of every world in the works of St. Thomas Aquinas. The shift humanism to the institutionally sanctioned disciplinary practice and protocols that we associated with the humanities today is the best described as a gradual process of subdivision and specialization, where 1966 started the computers and humanities founded. In 1978, founding the Association for Computers and the Humanities. 1985, the Prishu project began at Harvard University. In 1996, the first draft of XML spec released. In 2000, after 10 years, Office of Digital Humanities was founded, and in 2011, Stanford University started a project, and the histories continue from there with the learned societies and national academics in the license of knowledge, as well as professional rituals, meetings, and publications. By the second of the 2020, the meetings and publications with industrialization in full swing and the building of a public school system and public universities underway in Europe and the United States. And the humanities began to assume their contemporary guise. This is the era in which the study of literature, philosophy, and classics were split off from the natural and physical sciences as expressions and the double sense of a science and a discipline endowed with the distinctive toolkit graphing the cultural record. The beginning of digitations, the first waves the humanities engagement with networks and computation embraced pioneering work from the late 1940s models inspired archival project Oxford in the early 1970s. Over subsequent decades, the humanities continued to imagine the digital as a way of extending the toolkit of the traditional scholarship and opening of archives and database to wider audience of user. These activities typically focused on corpus building, on creating standards for text encoding and building databases that could facilitate work on humanistic corpora. As librarians and information specialists had developed a machine-readable records, file formats, and system that could support these ventures. Gathering momentum of the history of the starting of the beginning of the digitization, start of the 21st century, the first wave of digital humanities was developed. The core elements of digital humanities is digital contents, digital collection, then projects with digital outputs. The methods, scholarly primitive to gain new knowledge, discovery, annotating, comparing, referring, sampling, illustrating, and representing the digital content. Tools for processing and analysis, where I can explain you what are the techniques, what are the methodologies involved in the digital humanities. Friends, enhance the critical creation object-based arguments through the curation of digital media, including collection repositories and scholarly narrative supported by digitized or born digital primary resource of materials, augmented editions, and fluid textuality. When you look into the digital critical edition, marked up and encoded text, often created through crowded source methods and open to perpetual revision, annotation, and remix. The scale, how the scalability is the law of large numbers as data sets, how they grow larger and larger. Humanists hope to create new findings through computational and algorithm-enabled interpretation of digitized or non-digital cultural materials. Then the distant, close, or micro, or macro, surface level, or depth level concept to the of this looks into understand and analyze the large corpora across the trends, patterns of relationship. And the cultural analytics, aggregations, data mining. We're all talking about the data text mining, text encoding, and the computational means, cultural analytics, studies, and displays cultural materials in new aggregated, remixed form, often including interactive and narrative visualization. Visualization of data, design arguments made from the visualization of data, including virtual or spatial representation, georeferencing, and mapping. Stimulated environments and other design constructed from and are informed by the data. Locative investigation and thick mapping the creation data landscape through connecting real, virtual, or interpretive sites, often manifesting as digital cultural mapping or geographical information system. The animated archive, in which the static archive of the past is made alive and virtually experimental, including the active archive physical spaces through virtual means or multimodal or faceted approach collection of access through the interactivity. A distributed knowledge production and performance access digital project take collaborative term the cross both disciplines and borders that can often challenge of idea of the author through team contribution, crowdsourcing, and user-based performance of the text. We are all talking about the cloud-based, the crowdsourcing, everything now we're talking about the environment. Okay, humanities gaming, taking historical simulation. Humanities gaming use also virtual learning environment. We will sit in the computer, first we will do the gaming, and then we will come back to the academic, then we will see some kind of a recreation, and users engage exploration in the humanist themes. So code, software, or platform studies, humanists have studied the text and the book many other forms of writing so that what can we make the code programmers write the software computer users code or the platform that shape our social and cultural interactions. Database documentaries multimodal narratives formed from database branching out into multiple paths users explore, possibly incorporating live feed data, all calling into collection, question, authorial control, intent, and the role of the reader. So when you talk about the artificial intelligence or machine intelligence, the real life data, library is an a real data where today we are living in the circulation, we are depending on the live data. That's how it's this digital humanities making the news now. Visual search of BBC News, a technical demo of the large scale on the fly web search technologies which are under development in the visual geometry group in Oxford. It uses VIC computer vision software for data analysis. Visual search of paintings find objects in findings by learning classifiers from photographs on the internet or uses VIC computer vision software from the visual geometry group at Oxford. Data science and historical text. Nowadays, data science is very important. Many conferences, many people are talking on data science, including ICSR, Indian Council of Social Science Research. They are also talking about the data science. And here, DST, Department of Science and Technology, and many organizations in India also organizing the workshop, seminar. They're broadcasting their nature of data science. It's modeling, meaning, change from ancient Greek to the web archives. Webinar hosted by the Institute for Data Science and Artificial Intelligence, Manchester, presented by Barbara McWilbury, University of Cambridge, and the Alan Turing Institute as an accessible example what is being done with digitized and accurately transcribed historic collection and some event approaches to modern web archives in social media. Now, you can talk. You can ask me, how is digital humanities different from traditional humanities subject? All these years we are talking about the digital library. For the last 30 years, we are talking about the digital library. This digital library has helped a lot, or it has helped or not during this COVID pandemic 2 years. We are all the classes, all the meeting, including now online is going on. I'm talking about digital library to digital humanities online. Now we heard of digital libraries and various platforms, digital problem, digital software, digital technologies, and the net problem. All these things we have experienced in the 2 years, and 20 years we have talked about all digital library initiative projects. Okay, whether it is helped or not, but really we have heard lot about digital library and digital humanities. Therefore, digital humanities goes a step further than this with digital humanities courses. Information technology is a central part of the methodology for creating and processing the data. The course makes more systematic use of specialized digital technologies, or many even focus specially on digital aspects of human culture. Digital human is also made up broad community of practitioners, which includes both humanities, academics, and technology specialists, offered mostly at master level or might be at digital humanities courses, are more geared towards learning practical skills that help you to gain the access of specific career from the traditional humanities courses. Also, there are so many tools available for the digital humanities. So you should know that. One must have to know that what are the tools available to learn digital humanities. And the national and international level, there are so many platforms are available. One is that HandConk. HandConk is a free software, freeware corpus analysis toolkit for concordancing the text analysis. We are talking about the text analysis, text mining, data mining, TEI, text code encoding initiatives. All these things are being started from this AntCon. Then the second one is computer-aided textual markup and analysis, a tool for literary scholars, students, and other parties with an interest in text analysis and literary research. Therefore, this computer-aided textual markup analysis is also one of the good tool to use digital humanities. The third one is Hathi Trust Analytics. You know all the thing. Maybe you heard about the Hathi Digital Library, Hathi Trust. There are a lot of big collections are available. Many of you have used that library, the collections, and therefore this algorithm and explore tabs for different ways of conducting text analysis within 13.7 million Hathi Trust volumes available today. Hathi Trust Analytics, not a Google Analytics. It's a different kind of analytics. You're talking today, Google Analytics, some kind of altmetrics, some kind of a metrics. This under that Hathi Trust Analytics also is a very powerful where you can use under the digital humanities. And the next one is Juxta. Juxta is an open source tool for comparing and collating multiple witnesses to single textual work, originally designed to aid scholars and editors examine the history of the text from manuscript to print version. Juxta offers a number of possibilities of the digital scholarship to use for the academic purposes. And there is one more tool called Mallet, Machine Learning Language Toolkit. Say, for example, when I went to Spain, Madrid, few years before COVID, I had been to one of the to deliver a lecture. There, I booked the room from Bangalore, and when I went to Madrid, the one receptionist asked me, "You are from?" She doesn't know English. I thought I'm from India my name is Krishnamurthy. All I'm mentioning, but she couldn't. Then finally, she gave me one pen and paper. I wrote my name and my country. Then she typed in the Spanish and machine translate, and then it will be shown. Welcome, Sumajaya Krishnamurthy. Your room number is shown so in this guest house, in this room. So like that. That is the machine learning language toolkit, Java-based package for statistical natural language processing, document classification, clustering, topic modeling, and the both computational and foundation processing activities have and but other platform tools infrastructure have also developed to support curation, analysis, editing, and modeling. This depend upon the basic building blocks of digital activities: digitization, classification, description of metadata, organization and navigation, designing and building digital project. Depending on the knowledge of these fundamentals or knowledge, the understanding of the network of this mallet is a very powerful tool to design your digital humanities. Therefore, this one more tool is called Ngram Viewer. So based on a Google Books content enable users to keep track of change in usage of words or in terms of across the time. Also see the antitrust bookworm tool. So bookworm is one of the important in European countries. So there will be tool how to cut this bookworm. So there is a software in Gram Viewer. You can see the beautiful the Google Books content. Then TEI encoding initiatives. The text encoding initiatives is a consortium that develops and maintains the standards for the integration representation of the text digital form. Its chief divisible is a set of guidelines since 1994 that specify the encoding, social science, linguistic. That's one important tool for that. The benefits of digital humanities. So you can see that integration of qualitative and quantitative approach. These are very, very important, qualitative and qualitative. You can talk about always quality, but quantity also important. You can present the interlinked digital text, images, and time-based media with maps, timelines, data, and the visualization. The content management and data analysis. You can mine the map and reorganize the resource, whatever you need to uncover trends, themes, and key learning. They get quicker access to information through digital access. This means more people can review, see, and learn from the project. You are also able to more easily search through the data, combine different of sources, hyperlink, relevant background details, and more. And enhance teaching also. Now we're all in the online teaching. It will increase your online teaching capable, skilled, mechanics, digital humanities help students learn by being able to see more, experience more, and collaborate together. And improved collaboration. Now collaboration is very important to international level, your research level, your institutional level, your administration will ask what is a collaboration, where you are collaboration. So therefore, the digital resources and environments can provide a common platform for project development and a group sourcing of material and facilitate local, regional, and global partners save. The public impact, the project extended beyond the classroom and make a public impact. Very, very important. That's where you are to see how to reach the public. Visibility is important. You can sit in the library within the four wall. We have done this software, we have done this digital library, we have done automation, we have done so many things, but there is visible is important. So not only does the help, so the value of study of humanities. So therefore, the challenges of digital library, digital humanities is the applications make the science. So application should reach to the community, reach to the science, and it is to make use of that. Application is very important. Application is a tool. Application, it should reach to the community. So taming the language. So language is a big problem now. Say, for example, now in the country like India, we have different languages. So there is a problem in that. So we have to tame the language barriers. We have to come out from these challenges for digital humanities. The taming the big data. The big data is, you're talking about all this velocity and the data of volume, all these things. And say, for example, your social media data and your say, for example, your banking, the banking data, or from the driving license, all social data. It's very important how you're going to taming the data, which now today big data is important. Say, for example, now the COVID-19 data, recently the government of India has 35 lakhs people died in India, but recently one Australian newspaper is stating that more than 55 lakhs people have died in India because of COVID-19. So data is very, very important. Authenticity is very, very important. And data collaboration is also very important. Now the missing curriculum. The curriculum is very important. Now, that is what's a mismatch. People says what we are teaching, what we are going to work in the library or future, your environment, it is a mismatching. So therefore, the curriculum also has to go of this, your digital humanities and the academics. Mixing up the methods. So methods also, research methods or technical methods or some kind of a practical methods. All these things you have to methods to use your academics and useful for the job analysis. Also, so now the economization of humanities. So very important economization. So that also you have to think. Then helping find, keep and reinvent the human's identity. Identity is very important where you can identify the tools and the academics and were visible, and therefore these are all very important in the digital humanities. There are internationally, nationally, there are digital humanities project is going on. Some of the things I will cover up here. Digital humanities project are interdisciplinary. Digital humanities projects are labor intensive and require the book work project team collaborator. Say, for example, 1 million book project. When it came to India, they used to give a free scanner for all the engineering college. One PS Minolta, PS 7000, that software, scanner. Okay, they used to give. Now they have stopped because of various reasons. So that's what is called labor intensive and they require a work of a book project team. If they involve a team for a lab, which may be composed faculty, staff, graduate, undergraduate student, information technology specialist, and the partners in galleries, libraries, archives, and the museum. Digital humanities projects allow the people to step outside the world and print and enter the world of interactive maps, digital timeline, archives containing millions of digital books. These are the projects is going on, and working methods, online ratings of blogging, open annotation, text analysis, and data mining. We're all talking about the data mining for the last 5, 6 years, and the digital exhibition and the digital mapping, JS. We are all very familiar using the maps to go to one place to another place, and data visualization, very important. Then the linked data, how this linked data is dominating in the digital humanities and the academic environment also, and the virtual worlds, 3D modeling. These are all the methods how we are going to talk all these days. In the visual web, machines cannot understand the meaning of information present in HTML pages. This thing we are we are not talking about the HTML page, since they are made of ASCII codes and images. Now today we are talking about the RDF, resource description format, or today we are going to talk about W3C. Okay, the visual web prevents computers and automation, information processing, integration, and interoperability. The syntactic web is collection of documents in the World Wide Web that contain data not just meant to be rendered by the web browsers, but also be used for data integration and interoperability purpose. To understand data, computer needs metadata, which is provided by some kind of a markup language. where these days we are talking about metadata in our ALMS, in our digital library software, or in our content management software, or in our some kind of a MOOC platform, any kind of metadata is on a very important. So therefore, now today we are in the metadata we have to develop according to the needs of the platform. Now, social life of the digital humanities. Look at that, friends. We are all in one another way. We are in the front, we are in the Facebook, we are in the Twitter, we are in the YouTube, we are in the Facebook, we are in the Twitch, we are in the Jeep. So many tools where you can talk about social media logs and to understand the understanding the network of the networks. Davis notes that Facebook allows users to create profiles. This new internet-enabled voice of mass is creating shift in the communication paradigm that affects every aspect of our society. And also this digitalization of these humanities, creating the curation, analysis, and editing on the digital humanities is taking in the academic environment, also with the influence the web into walled gardens, say Facebook, Flickr, MySpace, LinkedIn. There are so many platforms because that's what walled gardens. It called the walled gardens. There is so many things in there. And you look at the visualization of digital humanities. Okay, the digital humanities is visualization, the network on Twitter, following or being a follower, digital humanities on Twitter, digital institution, digital layer, anything, so nodes, and many people are color, size, all these things. Visualization liver incorporate the text. They have been taught for the centuries of humanities discipline, and they can present an interesting and provocative questions of immediate interest of humanities scholars. These also function in the way beyond the traditional act of reading. Visualization employs a research in the traditional humanities. Research and in the above examples help to preserve and communicate cultural heritage and cultural significance through alterity, cultural constraint, and counterpole actual imagination, despite some strict definition of the term. History and heritage are not always literate, and the digital humanities audience is not always literate, focused, or interested in the traditional form of literacy. You can see the people how this network visualization from the one to node, so many nodes with so many size and so many people linked with one or another. And when you talked about the linked data, no, so linked data is very simple in the digital environment and the library also, where we can talk about if you create your website with using your author profile or your biography, there you can say, for example, in 2011, something was written by so and so, Mark Hanchan, and in the great genre of future film, linked data representation. Look at this example URL and URL. URL is, say, for example, on my own institute, www.isabank.ac.in, and my website, http://ismbank.ac.in/. Chris is on a URL. This is called as a linked data, how you can link to the data to the web page, data to the user, data to the society. So the linked data 5-star schemes are there. Make your stuff available on the web. Make it available as a structured data. That's one very important. You have to make it on a structured data. Use non-proprietary formats. Okay, non-proprietary format always good. Use URLs identity things so that people can point at your stuff. Link your data to other data to provide context. The context is important in the content. The content also nowadays we're talking, content is very important in the context. Okay, therefore this context and content both are important in your data. So linking open data cloud diagram. When you look at into that, the projects where the linked, many source people are, you can see that many, look at, take your Facebook, one person to another person to liking LinkedIn. So like that. So many people, the FOFL, friend of friend. Okay, friend of friend, the fresh meat, all these things are linked from one to one, one to one, one to one. So this is called the linking open data cloud diagram, where you can implement in the digital humanities. Link data on head to semantic information processing. Information processing on semantic web is largely dependent on a processing structured data in the form of triples and graphs, which is linked data. Linked data sources use resource discovery format. RDF is very important. Research discovery format for encoding structured data and simplify the linking of units of information by using URLs for identification and reference. And current trends and implementation. There are some implementation in the international level, some implementation in the national level, some international implementation in the local level also is there. Implementation in VCLC, WordCat, digital humanities heavily used, and Google Knowledge Graph, where I'm going to explain you some implementation. You can see here dppedia.org, dbtune, and geonames, ontology. Ontology, you know, in that ontology is a class of a class where you can develop a structure of the knowledge. Okay, the structure of the knowledge into, say for example, wine. You take a grape for you can make use that winery and the industry. This is called going with terminologies, geonyms, ontology. The project Gutenberg also digital humanities using a library linked data project. Many libraries, Library of Congress, okay, National Library of Medicine, there are all library linked data project within different RDF bookmaster, research district format, BBC News, Nature, OCLC, WordCat, Google search engine, and many more, and Google Analytics. Google Analytics also using the digital humanities, where you can use many internationally and national level also. Doings of digital humanities in India. Doings of digital humanities in India also emerged, and many places you can see that map, the colors are where digital humanities centers, a blue color, and the blue red colors, digital humanity courses running program in the universities, national levels, some kind of institution, projects, and digital humanities inaugural participants and upcoming conference, seminar, workshop, all these things are going in the different parts of India, and it is listed in this. The components of digital humanity infrastructure. When you talk about the digital infrastructure, the workstation, the scholars, the faculties, meeting place, national and international conference and workshop, the communication and collaboration, and the internet facilities, digital repositories, digital databases, digital tools, and software in both English and other languages, digital publishing platform, where the federated research environment, where the grant and scholarship taking from funding and institutional support from the service and supported for the research, and the course materials and the training practices, that is called the digital humanities pedagogy, digital humanities research. So all this taking place in the component where it's going to be countries. The problem is now the country like India, we have not much talked about this, and still it is going on, but it has to come, and government has to some kind of a project, some kind of a course, some kind of expert committee level. But I'm not going to recommend on all these things, because all these things we have already about for the last 20 years. We have talked about many things, but nothing has offered. Okay, so therefore we interdisciplinary digital humanities application and theologies, methodological common, formal methods, text, image, 3G version, sound, number, historical studies, performance studies, museology, and literature, and the cultural studies, linguistic, and the sociology, anthropology, mathematics, disciplinary kinship, all these things were missing from this thing. Now the extracting of these extra academic and the professionals where the disciplines are taking place in the different, the computer science, engineering, psychology, history and philosophy of science, technology, physical science, cognitive science, philosophy, all these things have been application part and this right side in the right research part, the sociology and linguistics. Interdisciplining the digital humanities is taking the one another shape to cope up with this. Digital humanities emerging is a big subject, and in the future, we are going to talk on the network graph topic analysis of digital humanities. Network graph of topic analysis, digital humanities, abstract in LISTA, when I searched library information science technology 2005 to 2012, arts and humanities librarianship, only one was there, digital infrastructure, two was there, digital scholarship, four was there, knowledge production collaboration, three, and the research communities were five. And look at this network collaboration, how this network collaboration going to the counterfactual of the imagining. Despite all these things, this technology during the converts in the information communication technology, people of humanity to such and in the above examples helps to preserve the humanities and the cultural informatics model of digital humanities. So a cultural informatics model, a digital humanities and the libraries. Look at this a beautiful diagram where the on the left side, the digitization of digital preservation, data set, social media, digital author, first order, the second right side, you can see that second order content, linked data, JS tool, text analysis, text mining, data mining, visualization, usability, classification, rights management, technical consulting, workshop and instructions, all this is called a human and the computer. One ground level is a human, upper level a computer side, and both side digitization and second order and the first order. The cultural informatics model for the digital humanities is a one example of that. The lastly figure it shows that labor and digital humanities. In the humanities data project, the researchers XYZ, and how long does it talk? Well, that depends on what the project that was placed and the created, and how many people are involved, how many people in the skilled, and their workload, like about how long to visualize, 10 anthologies with the short stories written African American author. So full reading visualization, 15 hours, visualization of data, 20 hours. Say for example, National Law School of India, Bangalore, the University, Sudhir Krishnamurthy recently gave a statement in the Deccan Herald newspaper. They are going to start a digital library and within 2 years, that means 600 days, they have taken a time duration during 600 working hours. They have constant. They're given a contract to the agency to digitize of all law books, legal books, of entire digital National Law School of India, which is very close to our institute, near to Bangalore University. So that's what where how long it takes time, very important. Okay, that also copyright has mentioned. Vice Chancellor has mentioned that what are all the copyrighted books. Based on that, they are going to digitize the books and their library things. Okay, data cleaning, ontology transcription, locating ontology, all these things will require a time. Total 305 hours time to labor and digital humanities is one of the project. So like that, entire if you take on like that, so you require a time and will require a time frame to digital humanities to trust on the national and international level. In the conclusion, I can say that digital humanities centers have the chance to become powerful education support environments favorable to the proliferation of digital competencies. And digital humanities center is as a practical and effective digitization, prompting the strategy that contributes to the rapid improvement of digital skills and technology, enhance research expertise of all research agents, research scholars, university teachers, and students, and their close academic environment. Information scientists literary theorists, media scholars, designers and practitioners, social scientists and historians can collaborate to develop humanities and social science research to explore the human condition and its evolution and the social material world in the digital age. That is the end of my topic. These are all my references. So, benefits of when Professor Humayun Kabir called me last month, he called me on January first week or second week. He asked me, what is your topic would you like to give? Then I took 1 day or 2 days to give this topic. Then immediately I was searching the literature. From January 29th, I started to retrieve all this digital with my help of my research scholar and all these things. I got it from the various sources, debates in the digital humanities, chapter 3, digital humanity, tools and resource recommendation, digital humanities, digital tools, and digital humanity example subject guides, and like that, many references are available. I can share this PPT to Professor Humayun Kabir. You can use for your academic purpose. Also, with this, I can conclude my talk. Over to Professor Kabir.
Okay. So thank you, Dr. Krishnamurthy sir, for your informative presentation. In fact, initially, Dr. Krishnamurthy sir started with the evolutionary trends in the web technology and elaborating what is digital humanities, history of digital humanities, beginning of digitization, core elements of digital humanities, methodologies involved in digital humanities, examples of digital humanities, difference between the traditional humanities subject and digital humanities, various tools available for digital humanities, challenges for digital humanities, projects for digital humanities working methods, visual and syntactic web, social life or social media of the digital humanities, visualization in digital humanities, linked open data, cloud program, etc., implementations, digital humanities in India, interdisciplinary digital humanities, and cultural influence, and so many things. In fact, thank you, Dr. Krishnamurthy sir, for disseminating such a very useful, informative, and very interesting, and which is interesting topic, which is unknown to us. Very colorful and illustrated, beautiful presentation also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
But still, the distinguished participants may be having some doubts. So I request the participants to have any clarifications, questions, comments, or additions, etc. Okay, please, you can have your questions. Professor Preeti Mahajan, madam. Professor Preeti Mahajan, madam. Okay, she was there in the beginning. Dr. Mr. Sadashivan, sir. Sadashivan, sir. Not there. Dr. Govikutan, sir. Dr. Mini Devi, madam.
Hello.
Yes, please. Yes, sir.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes. We are calling you. You can open your video and audio.
Yeah,
Both.
video, there is a problem for.
Okay, no problem.
Don't leave it.
And I will introduce. He was the former library officer of Regional Research Laboratory, NPOL, IIT MK, and Digital Library, etc. Okay, please, sir.
Whenever some new changes happening in the profession, professionals across the country are eagerly looking forward to what's happening in DRTC. So with that curiosity, may I request you to just enlighten us on the kind of initiatives the DRTC has taken to include in the curriculum content some of these new trends, number one, and the projects undertaken, either the well funded projects, externally funded projects, or the academic projects taken up by students. So some of these things, if you can enlighten us, that would be ideal for us to just look forward to the kind of developments that is taking place in the country.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you. Sir, many universities have changed their syllabus now. The beginning I mentioned, no, mismatch the syllabus, mismatch the curriculum. Many universities are coping with that information technology. Say, for example, our own DRTC has now revised the syllabus this year exactly. 21, 22, our new syllabus talking about the digital library, information communication technology, many 20 new subjects we have introduced, and there was no internship earlier because our lab was there 24 hours. Students used to learn from the lab. Then finally we decided no, students should go to the place, they should learn what is technologies employing the libraries, engineering college, medical college, and many more libraries, what the kind of technologies is implemented. So research scholars also we are given beautiful topics on the present current trends, how the trends working on the line of information science. Say, for example, now the Graduate School of Library Information Science, University of Illinois, and 10 top universities in USA, they have changed their syllabus, they changed their nomenclature, library information schools into I schools. I means information school, high hyphen schools, not HIGH, just I. I means information, I schools. So with that line, we have framed our syllabus presently, our department in the line of I schools. So that is the one. But it will take time because no, very beginning I mentioned, and the employment is very important. Where today employed youths are facing the problem. Okay, syllabus is not important. Teaching is not important. Employment also is very important. We have to tell them these are the employability of that. You can go to this place, you can go to content writing, you can go to some other company, not only library environment. Our field is vast, our field is multidisciplinary. Okay, so this is the trend we have to tell for the especially younger you people.
Okay, thank you, Sadashivan sir. I think you are satisfied with the answer.
But just one point. As of now, my specific query is on the digital humanities, where the job opportunities are increasing. Is DRTC doing anything specific for enabling the students to equip themselves in this field in your academic?
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. We are already implementing, sir.
Fine. Okay.
We are already implementing this one.
Okay.
Students are getting the benefits. Students are working on this line.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Sadashivan sir. Dr. Mini Madam?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Mini.
Sir,
Okay.
thanks sir, for your nice presentation and as well as the beautiful PowerPoint.
Yes.
Now, with Mr. Joseph, now he is assistant professor in Rajagiri College of Library and Information Science. When he was working as a postdoctoral fellow here, he and me together wrote an article on digital humanities, but it is on touching the preliminary ideas. Now, with your presentation, I acquired or I am looking new avenues on this topic. And similarly, when we are our department is offering the MLIC course in the 4th semester, we are offering digital libraries as a paper. In the MPhil program also, we are offering digital libraries as a paper. Now we have adopted outcome-based education syllabus. So every year we are updating. So certainly we will incorporate the new areas of digital humanities,
Yes.
so that our students can occupy, or they can also stand forward to the new areas in our profession.
Okay.
So similarly, one of our students has joined us a library intern in IIT Delhi. Now he's from a computer science background. Now there he is now working on the website, then more areas of Koha, then all the digital library parts of IIT Delhi. Now, shortly, our department is moving, signing an MIO, so that we can cooperate with the IIT Delhi, so that their faculty can train our student in the ICT area. So we will certainly include these digital humanity topics in our syllabus, as well as get so that our students can get more awareness about this topic. Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Thank you for your
Thank
nice
you. You go to that
presentation.
Oxford the link also, madam, where I gave the reference. There they have done a digital humanities projects, and for the academics especially, how that information communication technology can apply in your classroom in using digital
Okay, sir.
humanities.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
madam. Thank
Thank
Okay,
you.
so thank you, Mini Madam, for detailing your experiences on digital humanities. Any other questions? Shariful Islam from Bangladesh, I think so. Shariful Islam, Muhammad Shariful Islam. I think maybe from Bangladesh.
Okay.
Dr. Suresh Kumar? I think. I think there is not much question. I don't know whether they have understood the topic or the questions are.
Oh, both.
Okay, so if no more questions, then we can go for the final session.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Muhammad Sharif Islam has sent a message. Thanks
so
for
what-
the nice presentation.
Okay, that's just
Maybe some network problem.
Okay. So thank you, Sharif Islam, for the compliments.
Sir, could I ask one question, sir?
Yes, that's what we are requesting you for the question.
Thank you, sir. This was
First, let introduce yourself.
yes, sir. Myself, Madhuri Kumari. I am a research scholar from the Central University of Gujarat.
Central University of Gujarat. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, it was a great deliberation indeed. I enjoyed very much. Sir, there is a question about the social networking which is contributing towards the digital humanities, as you said in your presentation.
Okay.
Social networking is used by every users which is taking part into it, and they are also creator of that and consumer of that.
Okay.
So how can we confirm that content which is available or in the respect of digital humanities will going to be impart in the scholarly communication or scholarship, because we can't authenticate that type of information or digital humanities content. So how can we resolve these issues in the respect of scholarship?
Okay, madam. Very good question. See, I'm talking about this the academic environment, not individual Facebooks. Say, for example, GISTA, Journal of Information Science and Technology Practice from South Korea. Just yesterday, Professor Dong Jin Wo is editor and professor of library information science, posted the message of Korean student scholarship program. So that kind of a platform you can use. Okay. Say, for example, what we are doing in our social media, Facebook, just we will exchange, where are you, dog?
Yes,
How
sir.
are you? That's all. I'm talking about in the academic environment. In many Western countries, European country, and USA, official university social blogging sites are there. They are posting their notification, their syllabus, their library content. That kind of content you depend on that. Don't individual. What you mentioned is right.
Yes, sir. Sir, one issue is also there that now the scholars and the digital humanities scholars community is not so huge that they can convert the all available information that
Yeah.
could be helpful to the scholars in the respect
Yes.
of the research like that.
Yes.
So we should take care of that. We can increase the community of digital humanities professionals. They can take
Yeah.
precisely that in
Yeah.
process or task in that way that will help in the
Yes,
near
exactly.
future.
Say, for example, in our Karnataka, we have Belur Alebedu, the beautiful culture place where historians in many places they're coming to study that. Now, UNESCO recently had made a statement to digitize digital humanities of these monuments, beautiful Belur Alebedu places. So that kind of a international organization involvement is required to popularize the schemes, to popularize the projects.
Yes, sir. In the respect of India, India is a diverse country and
Yeah,
varied culture. So it is indeed
yeah,
very much needed in that
exactly.
context.
Exactly. Say, for example, now social media, according to today newspaper, Taj Mahal and Mysore Palace. So many people have viewed Mysore Palace.
Yes, sir.
First place got Mysore Palace.
I
Okay.
have experienced the Minar of Pisa like that or
Yes,
Miss
yes, yes.
Pyramid, everything
Exactly.
digitized in the
Exactly. Yeah,
website and it will
yeah,
give the presence of there. You are
yeah.
visiting there.
Yes. See, that's what you have to see that content first in the context. Very beginning I mentioned, no? The
Yes, sir.
context also. So digital context, digital humanities context.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you,
I
Mathuri
have
Kumari.
a question, sir.
He is from Central University of Gujarat. Okay, Dr. Jacob Johnson. I think
Sir,
he, introduce yourself. Introduce.
sir, good evening, sir. This is Dr. Johnson, Assistant Director Libraries from the Indian Air Force.
Okay, good, good. Oh, good.
Sir, indeed, it's a very nice presentation from my professor, Krishnamurthy, sir. Thank you so much. I have a little question, sir, with you. How does the digital network environment will applied in humanities in the library science, sir? Can you explain it, sir?
Okay. Sir, that's what very beginning I told you, no? The
Sir,
computational foundations activities, the
sir,
platforms in the social science is very less.
sir,
Okay. In the field
sir,
of history, political
sir,
science, where my
sir.
second slides. Okay, once again I will open this.
I agree, sir. I agree with you, sir.
Yes, 1 minute, 1 minute. I will come to my slides.
Sir.
Yeah. Look at this. Your answer is clear here.
Sir, sir.
Look at this digital humanities, where this theology, arts, cultural studies, literature, philosophy, history, anthropology, applied linguistics, language teaching, translation, academic writing, lexicology, dialectology, all these things comes under the less use. Lot
Sir.
comes under the digital or information communication technology, all these things. So now that's why our new education policy, NEP also says that our core subject, they have to use technology, history, political science, sociology. What they are going to do now in the classroom? They have to
Sir.
use that digital technology.
Sir, sir. Okay, sir.
So there are some platforms available. Okay. So
Okay,
just
sir.
only your PowerPoint presentation in the classroom is not sufficient.
Okay, sir.
Okay. You
Sir.
have to show your, say for example, history. What is the
Sir.
history? History is the record of the past event.
Yes, sir.
History is the record of the past event. Say Ashoka, say Shivaji, all these
Sir.
things you have to tell in the graphically.
Sir.
YouTube, you have to make some kind of a picture.
Sir.
So that's why now if you go in the classroom, now the present student, they will ask, sir, apart from your PPT, what you are going to talk, you please tell me. We know that it's
Sir.
available in the Google.
Sir.
Okay, so your knowledge you should keep, you should acquire, you should develop, you should improve more with the
Sir.
literature, with
Okay.
study more.
Okay,
That is
sir.
the only options.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
sir.
Johnson.
Oh, thank
Thank
thank you, Johnson, sir, Dr. Johnson. Thank you very much for your interesting
Thank you
question.
so much, sir.
Okay.
So, Kabir sir,
Yes, yes. So we will wind up now because I think there
I
is.
think I can. Okay, I
Okay, so
can.
1 minute. So thanks for the educated, enlightened audience for active participation and discussion, and thanks to Krishnamurthy sir for spending his valuable time with the Kelpro community today evening. Over to Dr. Surendran for the formal vote of thanks. He is the executive committee member of Kelpro and a senior assistant librarian of the prestigious CUSAT, Cochin University of Science and Technology. Now over to Dr. Surendran.
Okay, thank you, sir. Respected resource person of the day, Dr. M. Krishnamurthy sir, head DRTC, Bangalore, and the respected Human Kabir sir, Rajendra sir, and dear participants, Kelpro family members, and various heads of departments, teaching faculty, and my dear friends. So, uh, we are extremely happy to have Professor Dr. Krishnamurthy sir with us with a highly informative topic. And as you know, we could listen to a very informative and intellectual speech by Dr. Krishnamurthy sir today. So, on behalf of Kelpro, I propose vote of thanks to our respected speaker. Dear sir, thank you very much for giving us a really relevant topic in the most effective way. So, and actually, it is a very difficult topic. I think, listening to this, that is what is my experience. However, you have given many examples and you have explained well in many areas. So, thank you very much for once again for giving us this intellectual speech. And I
Thank
also
you.
thank all participants for spending their valuable time with us and their post and encouraging comments and deliberations. And we a special thanks to Sri Mari Muthu, professional assistant at School of Engineering, Kusat, for supporting Kelpro for YouTube streaming of this program. And I thank all Kelpro family members, executive members, office bearers for supporting for this webinar. And once again, I thank Krishnamurthy sir and Human Kabir sir and all other intellectuals from our field. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank
So
you.
thank you, Dr. Surendran. This program is available in the YouTube. So participants can view in YouTube also.